Hi, I'm Ian Runkle, also known as Runkle of the Bailey. In today's video, we'll be reacting to Code Blue Cam, Man Gets Caught with Loaded Gun at Airport number 2. So we already know that this one probably has a sad ending just because this is a bad scene, but let's have a watch.
On November 8th, 2021, a Monroe County Sheriff's deputy responded to a TSA checkpoint after a loaded gun was discovered at Key West International Airport. 50-year-old Jeffrey Hefter of Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, went through the X-ray screening when his carry-on luggage appeared to show a loaded handgun on the X-ray monitor.
Not great to have your name blasted online, but this is one of the consequences that can happen. There's several news stories about this guy. It's a bit of a big deal here. This is going to have some lasting consequences for him. You know, if he's ever applying for a job, they run his name, this is going to come up. Not fantastic.
Excuse me, when is your flight supposed to be? 1:15. You're gonna miss it.
Oh, I don't know if you heard that. It's a little hard to make out with this audio. They say, when is your flight supposed to leave? And it takes a few tries for him to hear, but he says 1:15, and the guy there says, you're gonna miss it. So it might be a little harsh for him to hear, hey, you're gonna miss it. But at the same time, it can be a kindness. Hopefully he just understands that, and he's not freaking out and fretting about this flight. He's got much bigger things to worry about, so taking that off the table is in some ways a little bit of a mercy. You can see this security or this X-ray machine. The handgun is very distinctive on this. It's very obvious. It's one of the shapes that the security guards and the TSA security is going to be on the lookout for. That's how he gets caught. It's pretty obvious on the X-ray scanner here.
And I was wondering if you have
Here's his bag.
Ay, ay, ay. What did he say? What?
I forgot it.
He forgot about it?
Yeah.
Does he have a CCW, I wonder?
We're supposed to, the new rules, we're supposed to be giving them some kind of information to let them know that TSA is reviewing it and they're going to probably fine them. But we don't have them.
We're supposed to have new rules. We're supposed to have information we can provide them. We don't have that. That's kind of the bureaucracy in action. It's not always functioning at 100% here. And you can hear, you know, the explanation is he forgot about it. This is sadly something that happens, and something that if you're a gun owner, you really need to be careful of. A lot of the time, people who are gun owners buy really great bags for carrying around or, you know, otherwise transporting a gun, like maybe to the range and back. This is a common peril for gun owners. People have been jailed for going to a particular country with a single cartridge of live ammunition. So if you're not willing to do that search every time you fly, you need to have procedures to make sure that this cannot ever happen to you.
Jeffrey stated that he was the owner of the backpack in which the handgun was discovered.
Which is never great, but you're in this situation at the start where it's basically impossible not to make this admission. I always talk about how you want to be careful about what you say to police, which would include TSA checkers and so forth. But they've actually got a fairly good system for extracting this critical admission from you, which is that your bag gets pulled off the line, and then at the search thing, they're saying, whose bag is this? And your options are either to say, that's my bag, or to lose the bag. So everyone, of course, says, that's my bag. And now you are potentially on the hook for whatever's found in it.
Is there a place I can little sit by something?
He just wants to get off his
Sir,
feet.
we're going to walk out of the checkpoint and into our office right here where you may have a seat, okay?
That'd be fine. Just come around this way?
We're going to carry all the stuff and walk with you, okay?
So this guy seems pretty cooperative, pretty remorseful. I think he realizes that he screwed up in a big way. There's various ways the officers could handle this, and some of them are nicer and some of them are less nice. Let's see.
Sir, we're going to go into the office. You have everything?
Now, I like that they're taking him out of the line here. This is embarrassing, of course, for him. It also means that they're not holding up the line and start getting people through, because other people have flights to catch too.
No, I don't have a stroke.
Jeffrey stated that he has 2 backpacks at home and must have grabbed the wrong backpack when packing for his trip.
And I bet those two backpacks look exactly the same because he really likes this particular style of backpack. I'm guessing he's got one particular, backpack that is really comfortable for him. And this is a great way to get yourself into a lot of trouble. Sad, but it happens.
Sir, we're gonna need that in our office. You got your shoes?
They're in the.
Hey, hold on a second. Can we get his shoes?
Yeah, I really like this. This officer's being quite compassionate here. Like, can we just get him his shoes? It's a small thing, but it does a lot for preserving this guy's dignity. So I really like that she's attending to that. Like, let's treat him like a human being. Good on this officer.
Sir.
Thank you.
Here we go.
See, treating somebody like a person goes a long way.
We need to do this in our office. We need to get him around here. Tell him he needs to come. What happened?
I grabbed the wrong bag. That's all. Totally grabbed the wrong bag. I should have stayed in my truck. My truck is still staying here until Monday.
Now, this is not a good time to be talking.
And I literally just grabbed the wrong bag. That's all it is.
What is the trip? Are you going?
It's very rare that people talk themselves out of trouble, but right now, it's easy to talk yourself into more trouble. So I don't like that he's explaining things here. We'll see. I mean, maybe they decide to cut him a break. It seems like he's just made a mistake. So the sort of simple mistake anybody could make, but we'll see.
I brought some product here for Mercury High Performance Racing. They have a big...
40 to 11, holding an accident, no injuries.
That's the other thing is anything you tell them, you don't know where it's going to end up, right? Especially because the US tends to release a lot of body camera footage. And so in this case, he's talking and he mentions a specific company. That company might not be happy with him if it ends up on a YouTube video with millions of views. So you got to be careful. People get fired sometimes for that aspect of it.
And got to walk around to the office.
It's quite a walk to this office.
So you have two bags in your truck?
No, I just literally grabbed the wrong bag from home.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you grabbed the wrong bag. What do you do with this bag?
This
you go
bag,
to the
it's
range?
like a truck,
or?
yeah, well, it's a range bag.
Okay.
I throw it in the truck.
Yeah, I don't like having a range bag that you might confuse for something else. I'm a big believer in keeping everything separate and distinctive. If you have a bag that is sort of like your carry bag, some people like to carry it in like a fanny pack or something like that. Apologies to our UK viewers, but make sure it's one that is distinctive, that you don't use for anything else, so that you don't run into these kinds of issues. You don't want to end up acting on autopilot and autopiloting yourself into jail.
Where do you live at? Here?
No, I'm in Fond du Lac.
Okay, so you're just here for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Just out for business.
Just going in here. I'm going to get you a seat.
If this gets disrupted, it might end up costing him financially as well in bigger ways.
I can find a seat for you.
Sir, you have is it Wyoming driver's license?
What?
Your license? Wisconsin? Excuse me. Did you fly down here from Wisconsin?
No, I drove here. Leaving my truck.
1434.
When I grabbed my...
This unusual flight pattern is not going to help him because if the officers are getting confused about what he's doing, that tends to push towards you're going to get charges at the end of the day. If the officers are unsure of what's going on, it's not going to help him here.
Have a seat right there.
There you go.
I like that they brought him a chair too.
I'm gonna say this right now. You guys, I would never ever want to put more work on you guys, and I apologize wholeheartedly that this just took place.
Now, an apology can be an admission of guilt here, so be careful with apologies. This is a guy who I think is normally an honest citizen. He's not somebody who causes trouble, but that has him talking, and that's a bad thing if it goes to a trial later down the road.
Real quick, I just wanted to say that Attorney Tom / Attorney Reacts content is now on Spotify. We just launched a partnered show, link in the description. Go check it out. Now, back to the video.
The handgun, Ruger LCP 380 semi-auto handgun, had a loaded magazine inserted with 6 rounds, as well as 1 round in the chamber. There was also an additional magazine discovered with 6 rounds loaded. Jeffrey did possess a concealed carry permit from Wisconsin, but dispatch could not confirm its validity.
Oh, that's bad. I don't know if that means that it wasn't valid or it was expired, or sometimes there's electronic hiccups. All of these things can be a bit of a problem. I've seen here in Canada people with valid firearms licenses where they call it in. They say, oh, we're having some technical problems. We can't confirm that that's valid. And then people end up getting arrested. So you're not always sure that your documentation information's going to hold up, even if it's valid.
I'm honestly so sorry. This is just sickening.
Yeah, I bet his stomach is in his throat right now.
Do you hold a concealed weapons
Yes,
permit?
I do.
Is it
It's
here?
it's in my wallet, I believe.
Okay.
That's a good thing to direct them to. Let's see how they do clearing it. Hey, found the mag release. Good.
Loaded all the way.
All right.
Was one in the chamber?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of these videos where the officers really struggle with the gun. I'm going to give the officers some minimal props here for successfully finding the mag release, dropping the mag. You know, this was the correct sequence of actions in order to check that it's unloaded. Now, you'll also note this is a really little handgun. It's just a wee baby, but it's still effective. If you're thinking, you know, why would he have one in the chamber? Well, if it's a defensive handgun, you want that. It's a lot quicker to bring that to action in a self-defense situation. Some people don't like to carry with one in the chamber. And to those people, it's like, well, what happens if you're suddenly attacked? Are you going to be able to draw and rack one in? I'm not a big fan of that mode. So it's not surprising that he has one in the chamber.
This was in the...
So he got
inside the weapon.
struggled a bit with the with locking it open, but a lot of guns are
laying
a pain
beside
to
it
do
in the
that.
pack.
So he's got a spare mag.
Sir, is your concealed weapons permit in here? And you said you needed your phone. I will find your phone.
I should call and tell him I'm not making it. So, sir, is that what you said?
Sorry?
You said to call and tell him I'm not making it. Okay.
No, I just said I'm not sure you're gonna make your flight. So give us a minute here. We got a little work to do here. So.
Thank you.
He just changed that. He said, I'm not sure you're going to make your flight. Maybe they're going to cut him a break here. How would they cut him a break? They'd just send him out the front door and say, put this in your truck, perhaps. Or they'd say, is there somebody who can come and pick this up? Or one option is just, sir, will you surrender the firearm for destruction? And they keep the gun. He gets on his flight. He buys another gun. All of those are potential options to avoid him getting arrested and charged in that whole production. That makes me think maybe they're going to cut him a break. That would be a good thing, I think. I don't think our society is improved by sending this guy to jail.
Yes, and then I'm coming back on Sunday to pick my vehicle back up, load it up, pick my vehicle back up and drive it back to Wisconsin.
This is probably taking a fair bit of time, and he's just having lots of chances to freak out.
Yeah, I'm a bottle of water sometimes, sick in my stomach. Glass or something.
Hold on. This water.
Thank you.
Oh,
Just opened it.
I appreciate this as well. They're really treating. I think that they're
The
really
assistant
treating him
state's
fairly
attorney was
fairly here.
contacted and reviewed the incident to include the totality of the circumstances.
I don't like.
They advised there was enough probable cause to make the arrest on Jeffrey.
Yeah, once I heard that they were contacting the ADA, I knew that this is where it was going to go. So yeah, it looks like they're going to arrest him. This is kind of the break I will make here. They say there's enough to arrest him, but you don't have to arrest him just because you can. You could cut him some slack here, but they're choosing not to, it looks like. Yeah, this is a sad outcome, I think. Certainly sad for him. Oh, they don't... So in some places, they've got a route to walk this guy out where they can walk him into custody without having to drag him in front of everybody. Doesn't look like that's the case here. They're bringing him out in handcuffs in front of everybody in the airport. And lots of these people have cell phones. They might decide to snap a picture, but I guess it doesn't matter when this video is already out on the internet. Right now, we've got the humiliation conga this guy's going through. Look at the other people in the lineup and how they're all staring at him.
Do you want to go to the other side, pat him down?
Wait, did they not pat him down yet? Oh, that's a worrying comment, because they found a loaded handgun in his bag. I would have patted him down a long time ago, just to be sure that he doesn't have something tucked down the front of his pants or the back of his pants. The time to do that was a long time ago, but I guess now is next best? Ugh, don't like that at all.
You have his IDs and stuff.
Yes.
His wallet's in his stuff.
Sir, I have your driver's license and your concealed weapons permit, which I will turn over at the jail because they're going to need it.
I feel like this guy, like, we're not benefiting society by throwing this guy into custody. The other thing is that he doesn't live in state, from what we've heard. Hopefully going to get release on some sort of bond, and then he's going to have to travel back here to deal with his court matters. This is going to be a very expensive day for him.
Sorry, say again?
My right cuff.
Taking you out right now.
Oh, I can't even move.
Sorry, I gotta try to, let me come around.
No, here, I have that on.
So he's got some complaints about his cuffs. If cuffs are too tight, or if they're positioned wrong, or whatever else, they can cause some serious injury, nerve damage, and so forth. I don't know. He might just be in pain. All right, let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. I've sort of given you some of my thoughts. You got to be careful if you're a gun owner, especially if you're going to be traveling or entering into any other protected area. As a lawyer, I'm often going to courthouses or jails or that kind of thing, and I have to be careful to make sure I don't have a pocket knife or anything else like that on me. I don't know that I like this outcome in terms of him being arrested and charged and so forth. I think that they could have gone a different way, and that might have been better for everyone involved. If you like this video, make sure you check out these 2 videos. Also, please like this video, subscribe to see more content like this, and share this with your friends. Thank you for watching. See you next time.
Big verdict.